morning, everyone. This morning we will hear from Ivanka Trump, who will be our last witness on our case on direct in our case against Donald Trump, her brothers, and the Trump organization. Ivanka Trump secured, negotiated loans to obtain favorable terms based on fraudulent statements of financial condition. And she will attempt today to distance herself from the company. But unfortunately, the facts will reveal that, in fact, that she was very much involved. We uncovered the scheme, and she benefited from it personally. Ms. Trump will do all that she can to try to separate herself from this corporation, but she's inextricably tied to the Trump organization and to these properties that she helped secure financing for. So you cannot hide from the truth, and the facts will belie the truth and the evidence. And so we look forward to her testimony. Thank you.
That was New York Attorney General Letitia James talking about what she expects to see during the testimony of Ivanka Trump when Ivanka Trump testifies on Wednesday, as we are now in week 6 of the New York Attorney General civil fraud trial. I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch network. We've provided continuing coverage of everything that's been going on in this trial in New York. The judge presiding over the matter is Judge Ngoran. This is Ivanka Trump entering the courtroom earlier today, and she has started testifying from all court observers in the courtroom. And I want to give a hat tip to Adam Klasfeld, Lisa Rubin, and others who are in the courtroom. They've described that Ivanka is significantly, as of now, more poised, better prepared than her brothers and her father, all of who did disastrously on the stand. They all tried to distance themselves from their roles as the leaders of the Trump organization. And even though they were the ones ultimately responsible for the statement of financial conditions, they all tried to act like they had nothing to do with it and either throw their accountants under the bus or throw people like Jeff McConney, their former controller, or Alan Weisselberg, the now convicted felon, former chief financial officer, who's not a CPA of the Trump organization, under the bus. Let's talk about Ivanka's testimony thus far. Ivanka talked about how she spent an enormous amount of time on 2 projects in particular, the Doral property as well as the old post office loan. One thing I should mention from the outset about Ivanka, just to be clear, Ivanka is not a defendant in this matter. Ivanka is a non-party witness. She tried to avoid having her testimony taken. You probably remember some of the videos I did about that. She was claiming that during this week she was very busy. She said that she had, it was a school week for her children, and that as a result, the entire trial should stop and be stayed pending her appeal about, she tried to claim there was no jurisdiction over her to have to testify. And in civil cases, unlike criminal cases, if there's no jurisdiction over you in a specific state, it's a little bit harder to compel you to show up at a trial. Unlike a criminal case where there's kind of a 2-step process of getting a subpoena issued from your state and then going outside the state to the court where the witness is and then getting them compelled to testify outside of the state that actually has jurisdiction over it. So Ivanka's efforts to try to stay were rejected. She was dismissed from the case by the appellate division purely on statute of limitations grounds. And that's why she's not a defendant in the case anymore, but she's a non-party witness and has to testify.
Being on top of your mental health game is so important. And as you know, we here at the MeidasTouch Network are working around the clock. And it's easy to fall into bad habits or routines because, well, life gets in the way, especially with your diet. Frankly, I think most people can relate. Everyday life does get in the way, making it challenging to find a healthy snack without all the sugar and junk. Now, if you're busy and constantly on the go like me, you need to try Mosh. It's a protein bar made for your brain. With 6 delicious flavors, each Mosh bar includes 12 grams of protein and is made with ingredients that support brain health like ashwagandha, lion's mane, collagen, and omega-3s. At 160 calories and only 1 gram of sugar, Mosh protein bars are the guilt-free snack your brain and body will crave. Your brain is your number one tool, which is why Mosh protein bars were mindfully formulated by some of the top neuroscientists and functional nutritionists. Mosh now has a new line of plant-powered protein bars in 3 delicious flavors for those who want all of the protein and brain support of the original bar, now made with plant-based ingredients. I have a Mosh bar literally every day to kick off my morning, and it has totally improved my performance. I love the taste, especially of the peanut butter Mosh bar. Delicious. Not to mention the packaging, it makes it super easy to take them with me if I ever find myself hungry between meetings. Don't settle for a mediocre snack when you can nourish your body and mind with the fuel it needs to succeed. So whether you're at the gym, on the go, or living your best life, Mosh protein bars will keep your brain fit, fueled, and feeling good. Head to moshlife.com/Meidas to save 20% off plus free shipping on your first 6-count trial pack. That's 20% off plus free shipping on your first 6-count trial pack, which includes all 6 mouth-watering flavors. moshlife.com/Meidas.
So Ivanka stated, as I mentioned, that she spent an enormous amount of time on 2 projects in particular, the Doral property as well as the old post office and the loan related to the old post office. The old post office was in Washington, D.C., and that was the situs of a lot of kind of foreign influence and emolument type, in my opinion, violations of lots of people going there in Washington, D.C. when Trump was in office. So then Ivanka was given some financial documents. She was talking about the financing for the Doral property. Ivanka says in her testimony that her goal with Doral was to, quote, reposition it as a luxury property. And so as you see already, she's been just a little bit more forthcoming about her role in the organization. And then the New York Attorney General lawyer starts going through documents with Ivanka, showing Ivanka documents from potential lenders. There's an email from 2011 from someone by the name of Andy Beal, and Ivanka promises that her father's going to send Andy Beal the most recent financial statements via hard mail. She doesn't recall whether Beal requested the documents or not, and this was someone from something called Beal Bank. And so one of the things here is like, okay, why are you going to Beal Bank? And kind of shows that Donald Trump's trying to find unconventional lending strategies. While Ivanka's being asked these questions, Donald Trump's lawyers like Christopher Kise were objecting to a lot of the questions that were being asked. So more documents are then shown to Ivanka. She was shown a November 2011 email from Ivanka to Richard Byrne of Deutsche Bank about obtaining financing for Doral. Ivanka said that it was a conversation she had at a high level, but it didn't go anywhere. And then we're talking about how at a later date she was involved in the diligence process and her role in the due diligence for the Doral property. But you already see here with Ivanka so far that she's been more cooperative, answering the questions, better prepared than any of her family members. And one of the things to note as well, and this is what is very interesting, is that Ivanka referenced her 2022 investigative interview with the New York Attorney General's office multiple times now. And so Ivanka wasn't deposed in this action. So there's no deposition footage of her that I can play for you. But she did sit down in a meeting with the New York Attorney General lawyers. And so what's really fascinating about this is, like, did they prep her? How is she so prepped? And one of the things that George Conway wrote is, Ivanka allowed herself to be prepped by the AG's office? If so, wow. And we'll see. I'm not sure what she was saying there was that she allowed herself to be prepped by the AG's office, but when she sat there, in 2022, she didn't have a deposition taken because she was being cooperative with the New York Attorney General's office and providing a lot of information. And I think that's one of the reasons why also they didn't fight harder to really do everything to keep her in the case, where maybe they could have. So we'll keep you posted as we learn more, but that's what we have for now. Ivanka entering. I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Hit subscribe. We're on our way to 2 million subscribers. Thanks to your support, and have a great day.
Hey Meidas Mighty, love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram @MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.